everyone, I'm here today with a tag video. This is the Home Sweet Home tag. It was created by Gretchen. You should check her channel out. I'll leave a link to it down below. She's pretty awesome. The first question is, welcome Matt. What book did you choose because of its cover and not the synopsis? For this I'm going to say, These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. I don't think I even knew what this book was about the first time I saw it. I just thought it had a really gorgeous cover and I wanted to read it because of that. And I haven't actually gotten around to reading this book yet, but I'm excited to get to it. Question number 2 is, Sofa, what book gives you comfort? For this I'm going to say The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. I don't have my copy of this book currently. I let someone borrow it because I am frequently lending this book to people because I think everyone should read it. Actually, I don't know if everyone would appreciate this book, but for me it always makes me feel nostalgic. It always makes me feel at home. It just makes me feel comfortable. Some of you might think this is kind of weird, especially given the ending of this book, but for me, I kind of feel comfortable when I am being emotional or when I'm feeling a lot. And this book always reminds me of being emotional as a teenager, and it kind of makes me reconnect with a part of myself. The third question is TV. Choose a book that you read before it became a movie or TV series. For this I'm going to say Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. My mom is absolutely obsessed with these books, and she's been obsessed with it since long before it actually became a TV series. So, I wanted to check it out and see what it was all about, and I did enjoy this book. I think they're doing a really good job with the TV series. The last couple episodes had some disturbing stuff going on. If you saw them, you know what I'm talking about. But overall, I really enjoyed this book, and I've enjoyed what they've done with the TV series so far. The next question is Frame. Choose a book that you would place on a wall because you want to show it off. For this I'm going to say my copy of Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie, just because I love this edition, and I love the illustrations in this edition. I think they're really, really cool. And look at this one of Captain Hook and Peter Pan. I need to reread this book. It's been too long since I've reread it. It's like one of my favorite books of all time. The next question is Oven. Choose a hot character. For this, I'm hands down going to say Lestat from Anne Rice's The Vampire Chronicles. This is a lovely picture of Tom Cruise playing Lestat in The Interview with the Vampire. I think he is actually a pretty good Lestat. I was pretty obsessed with these books in high school, and he's just a really beautiful character. I really love when a series of books or a TV show or whatever begins with a character who is kind of evil or a villain, and then they sort of become something else by the end. I really enjoyed Warner with the Shatter Me series. Well, I feel like George R.R. Martin did that with Jamie in the A Song of Ice and Fire series. But anyway, in the first Vampire Chronicles book, Interview with the Vampire, Lestat is presented as being a villain, and then throughout the rest of the series, he's kind of the hero or the protagonist of most of it. Next question is Refrigerator. What book gives you chills? For this I'm going to say The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I'm going with chills in the sense that it makes you feel good and feel connected with everything. The way you might get chills at a piece of really good music or something like that. And this book definitely makes me feel that way. It's a very spiritual book. It is fiction, but it's very new age, kind of everything is connected, and I'm really into that kind of stuff. So yeah, it just makes you feel good. And the audiobook is really cool because Jeremy Irons narrates it, and I love him. The next question is Dining Room Table. Choose a book that you've read over dinner with no shame. For that I'm going to say Catching Fire by Suzanne Collins. which still has the price tag on it because I never took it off. But I remember when I was reading the Hunger Games book, and I finished the first one, and I immediately went out and bought the second one, and I was reading all day, and then I actually canceled plans that I had with a friend to finish reading the second one. And so I was living alone at the time, so it's not as big of a deal to read a book at dinner when you live alone, but yeah, I was definitely reading this book all night through dinner, and I definitely stayed up until I finished it because I was just really invested. Next question is bathroom tub. Choose a steamy scene in a book that you will always remember. For this, I'm going to go with the sex scene at the end of Ignite Me by Tahira Mafi. It's not really a spoiler. This could also just be on my mind because I just read this book recently, but I definitely think that was a memorable one that I will be remembering. The next question is bed. Choose a book that you had to put down because it made you sleepy. For this, I'm going to say The Odyssey by Homer. Yeah, I remember thinking this was kind of boring when I read it in high school. So I'm taking this Greek mythology class right now, actually, and we were reading The Odyssey. I know, I'm a total dork for taking a free class online that I don't have to take for any reason, but that's just who I am. Anyway, so I was rereading The Odyssey for this class, and I did enjoy it more than when I read it in high school, but there was definitely still some times where I had to put it down for a minute because I was just zoning out and not really paying attention. I mean, I know that's horrible because it is a classic and everything, and there was a lot of beautiful stuff about it, but if I'm being honest, kind of put me to sleep a few times. Next question is desktop. Choose a book that has 21st century digitalized element. For this, I'm going to say Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell because she is writing fan fiction, so I feel like that's pretty 21st century. Look, she's even on a little computer on the cover. And the last question is bookshelf. Which booktubers do you tag? I am going to tag some people, but I don't know who that's going to be. So I will decide that and let you know down below in the description. Alright, that's it for me. Thanks for creating this tag, Gretchen. Everybody go check out her channel. She's really cool. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.